Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Danielle, aka Stitcherista here on YouTube, and today is Sunday, March 17th. It is St. Patrick's Day. So happy St. Patrick's Day. We just came back from the grocery store, and Bill is outside going to cut the grass, and I'm going to be in here doing this video. So have some stuff to chat with you about, and then I will read some stories from the Chicken Soup for the Dieter's Soul that we've been reading and enjoying. So last week was a really short, I want to say short, light week where I only worked like 1.5 days. And I was going to do a video Friday, but then I woke up and just was not feeling it. Just wasn't feeling it. So I just did stuff around here and just relaxed. Saturday, so I didn't fall asleep Friday night until 3 a.m. Yeah, just wide awake and just, oh my God. So Saturday, we had plans to start working on our raised garden bed that we want to do. And if you remember at Christmas time, I had bought Bill these 2 raised garden boxes from Costco. Well, they're pieces of shit. We put them together and they're cheap plastic, and he was just cussing because they were falling apart. And he's like, I'm just going to go to Home Depot and get wood and make one. Now, we discovered this. We had put together the boxes on Friday. So Saturday morning, he was planning on going to Home Depot. Well, he came and woke me up at like 7:30, and I was supposed to go to Home Depot with him. But when he found out that I didn't go to bed till 3 a.m., he was like, well, why don't you just stay in bed and try to get a little bit more sleep? I'll go to Home Depot, and then when I come back, we can get started. Well, I wound up still getting up at 8 o'clock, doing stuff around here. And then I got in the shower. And when I got in the shower and got out, it was like 10:30. And I realized he had been gone for 3 hours. And I started to get concerned. You know, I'm not the kind of person that when he's like at a poker night or with the guys or doing stuff, I don't call him incessantly. I call him if I need something. But this was concerning because he should have been gone 3 hours. So I call and he answers and he's like, oh my God. What happened was, first off, he stopped off at his friend's house, which I didn't know. So that took some time. But when he went to Home Depot, he had a gift card from Christmas that he was using. And then he said when he put in his debit card, it like shut the whole system down, the computer system. Took 45 minutes to get that up and running. And I know he had to be fit to be tied. I just know it. So, yeah. So by the time he came home, I was ready. Like I had my hair, I was ready, which was good. So we spent the next 3 hours building the deck box, building the raised garden bed, and then tilling the ground and then putting the bags of soil that we bought. So I was tired. Like I'm not used to, usually Bill is the one that does all the yard work, but I told him I would help with this garden and help him do it. So it was also really nice outside, so it was nice to get out, get some vitamin D, and actually do like labor. Like I usually, like I said, don't do that kind of stuff. And then my stepdaughter and her boyfriend, they came over they wanted to go fishing down the end of our street because we have a beach down the end of our street. So they did that, and I like sat and looked on my iPad for a while, and then we had dinner. And then, like I said, I was in bed. We were in bed 10 o'clock, and I was 3 minutes and I was out. So up early today, though, like I said, grocery store. But I came to a revelation yesterday. And for those of you that have watched the channel for a while, you're probably going to be like, OMG, because over the years, I've changed my mind about crafts, about doing things a lot of the time. And, you know, I haven't stitched in a long time. And I sat here yesterday and I realized that stitching at this moment is just not bringing me joy. The thought of pulling out fabric, thread, scissors, all the accoutrement for stitching just makes me weary. This doesn't mean I'll never come back to stitching, but for the time being, I'm going to be giving it a rest. And what I'm going to pick up again, though, is coloring. And you know, what made me think about it was that I have a retreat coming up in Ocean City on April 11th. And I've been really aiming to pack light, to not have a giant suitcase or a heavy suitcase and all this stuff. And that's just me. I just want to pack as minimal as I can, but still have what I need. And being able to just pack, like I have a Vera Bradley laptop bag that I put my coloring stuff in. So I put my coloring book, my chalk pastels that I use for the background sometimes, my pencils, my one set of pencils that I have, and it literally fits into a laptop bag. So to be able to just bring that and just have that and be able to just set the book and my pencils out on the table. I did that before at a retreat years and years and years ago, just brought coloring. Now, automatically I was like, I'm going to get some comments or looks from people because I'm not bringing stitching. But when I really did some deep diving in my brain yesterday, I do not go, and I was talking with Terry about this, I do not go to those retreats necessarily to stitch. When I think about why I go to see the people. Because yeah, it doesn't matter what craft you take, in my opinion. So I just love the fact that you can sit down with a blank page and some colored pencils and make a masterpiece. And I want to get really good at it. I'm pretty decent. I know how to blend. I know all of that. My biggest thing with coloring is figuring out what colors to use on a page and what to do. I joined 2 coloring groups on Facebook. I'm watching some YouTube videos because there are a bunch of coloring channels. There's one channel that I absolutely love. It's called Alchemy and Color. She does so good with the coloring, and she puts up the pencils that she uses. And if you've never watched a coloring video, it is so utterly calming because they're not talking most of the time. They put music to it, and it's so relaxing. I was watching one this morning. I was up early, like 6:30. But yeah, Alchemy and Color, love her channel so very much. And so yeah, I've been watching some tutorials, and I started a page. I have Johanna Basford has it's called Small Victories. And I've had that coloring book for a while, and I started coloring in that one. And I realized too that why I picked the crafts I pick, like coloring, stitching, diamond painting, I love color. Absolutely love color. And the things that you can do, I mean, you don't have to be an artist or know how to draw or any of that to be an amazing colorist. Practice. It literally is practice. And I have a set of Prismacolor pencils, so I have some of the higher end pencils. But I've been doing some research, and Amazon makes their own Amazon brand pencils, and people have raved about them. There's 72 pencils for like $11. I bought them. I told Bill today, I said, I bought those. They're coming today. I have to try them. I want to try them so bad. So I will update you guys on how I like those pencils. But maybe here and there I'll do a color with me. I don't know. But I also bought a small notebook to keep in my coloring bag for notes. Like when I watch those tutorials, those YouTube videos, I'm going to start jotting down some notes about color combinations, because the one video I was watching this morning, in the background, she used red and green, and I would have never thought of putting those two colors together. It looked so good. And while I like the ease of using marker, colored pencils, I feel like, give the best result. It takes time. You have to have patience, because with coloring, it's about layering. You can't just go in there and just scribble on it and expect some big thing. I mean, the one video that I was watching, it took them 1 hour and 47 minutes to do one coloring page. But man, the result, I mean, jaw-dropping. So, and Johanna Basford, her coloring books are my favorite. The pages are really well done. I also like Hannah Lynn's coloring books because, of course, her artwork. But she has artist edition books that are done on really good paper. Amazing to color with. And I'm addicted to like the spiral bound ones because it's nice to be able to lay the book flat. So that's where I'm at. Still love diamond painting, of course. Still doing that, although I haven't diamond painted in a couple days. But you guys are seeing me work on Twilight Rose now. But yeah, stitching, going by the wayside for a little bit while I delve back into the coloring world. So I'm not going to apologize for it. I mean, I feel like if it's not bringing you joy, I'm not going to force myself to do it. And I realize I may lose some people from watching the channel for a time being. I have tons of stitching videos on my channel. So, but yeah, so that was going on the past 2 days. And I've also been wearing less makeup. I'm finding that as I get older, less is definitely more. And I don't need all that heavy makeup that I was wearing. So I watched a video last night where this woman gave like 5 tips on, looking younger as far as your makeup. And one tip that she used, which was pretty good, was using a brow pencil as your eyeliner, because she's like, as you get older, don't use like harsh black eyeliner. And that's what I was using. I don't put a ton of eyeliner on anymore, but I was using black on my top lid. But I got a brow pencil today, and I think that's really going to work. I really like that idea. So been doing that. And I also had someone ask me a question where I got my diamond painting desk. I bought that off of Amazon. It's made from Starboard, which is for boats. And the desk was $400, but one of the best investments I've ever made. That desk will last me forever. And I love it because the desk part that I diamond paint on tilts. So it's amazing. I absolutely love it. And I'm trying to think if that's it. Bill hit his goal for his goal weight. He lost 4.2 pounds this week. It's amazing what he's done. I mean, it's only been 2.5 months and he's lost 40 pounds. I mean, that's just tremendous. So he started at 260 and he weighed in at 219.8 this morning. I didn't think I was losing any weight this week, but I stepped on today. My weigh-in day's not until tomorrow. And I was down 0.4. I still have a long way to go. I still have like 55 pounds I want to lose. So, but yeah, I'm good with it. Still doing the intermittent fasting, still doing low carb, and I'm not really hungry a lot. I mean, I was hungry this morning, but I'm good now. Like you can kind of push past it, because what time is it here? It is 10:41. I usually eat anywhere between 12 and 2 o'clock. And then I stop eating after we have dinner. So usually, 6, 7. But yeah, so I've been looking into things to bring with me to the retreat as far as food, because the only food I'm going to be buying out, coffee and dinner. Lunches I'm going to bring with me, so I won't be buying lunch. But they have like 100-calorie packs of almonds, because I love almonds. And so I'm going to bring those and probably a jar of peanut butter and have peanut butter sandwiches. Something really easy. I usually eat a very basic lunch, really easy. And probably pack some string cheese because I really like that. And yeah, string cheese, almonds, peanut butter. And dinner is usually where I have my bigger meal, I want to say. Now, I did find something I've missed crackers. I did find something at the grocery store today. I found these Parmesan crisps that are seasoned with everything bagel seasoning, and they look like a round cracker. And I told Bill, I said, I'm going to put I bought some Laughing Cow cheese. I'm going to try putting that on there and seeing how that tastes. I think I'm going to have one at lunch today. Just always trying to find something different. So, and people are like, oh, I could never do what you do. Yes, you can. You just have to really want it, right? Like my mom was doing intermittent fasting and low carb. And I messaged her Friday or yesterday, and I said, are you still doing intermittent fasting and low carb? She said, I'm still doing intermittent fasting, but not low carb so much. She's like, I have to live a little. Like, I have to eat more than just meat, eggs, cheese. And for me, though, low carb works. And why it works is because it reduces inflammation greatly in my body. Like, my arthritis in my feet don't bother me as much. My muscles don't hurt when I work a long day. Low carb is definitely what works for me. And then pairing it with the intermittent fasting has been really tremendous. I mean, I have been very fortunate to lose weight every single week since January 1st, and I've lost 18.2 pounds so far. So yeah, pretty amazing when you really stop and think about it. I don't compare my journey to Bill or compare my journey to anyone else as far as weight loss. Like I've said before, your competition is yourself. So I just go week by week and try to make the best choices I absolutely can and try to stay away from a bunch of processed stuff. Like, there's all kinds of keto and sugar-free stuff out there. I've even given up, I have one diet soda a day. I've even given up the Crystal Light. Like, I just chucked it right in the trash. When I am not having coffee with heavy whipping cream, I'll have water, just plain water, or I will just I like my Diet Orange Crush. And so I will have one of those a day at dinner time. But I'm drinking mostly water. So, the sugar-free stuff affects people in different ways. So you have to find really what works for you, because like I said, I belong to an intermittent fasting group. I belong to a low carb group on Facebook, and I check those daily because I really like the information on there. But man, there are some like Nazis on there, like carb Nazi, and I use that term. Maybe that's not the right term. There are people that are very steadfast and strict. Like, someone had posted about they wanted to eat an apple or they ate one, and there was like 260 comments on the post. People were like, apples are too high in carb. And you know what? I will die on this hill. You're not fat because you ate too many apples. Let me tell you. So do you need to eat 5 apples a day? No. And really, you should stick, if you're doing low carb, stick to berries. Like, my smoothie that I make is berries and kale. And we bought strawberries today. They looked really good. And I haven't had them in a couple weeks. So sometimes I'll have that as a side. And if they're ripe enough, I don't put sugar or anything on them, or even some kind of sweetener. I just eat them plain. But really, really good. But yeah, you have to find what works for you. And it's persistence, it's dedication, it's consistency. The little things add up to be a big thing. Okay. So enough jibby jabbing. Now that I've jibby jabbed for, almost 20 minutes about that. But this week for work, I'm on the schedule so far Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So I'm confident that stuff will probably come in Thursday and Friday, because usually stuff does. So we will see about that. But yeah, so let's read 1 or 2 stories from the Chicken Soup for the Dieter Soul. Oh, books. I haven't been reading. Remember, I am really trying to not spend money on books. I canceled my Kindle Unlimited subscription, so I don't have that any longer. I have one book on hold at the library, Alex Michaelides' new book, The Fury. Really want to read that one. And I still got 9 weeks to wait for it. I haven't been able to find any book that I want to read in Prime Reading or any other book at the library. So I may be taking a little bit of a break from reading for the time being, besides reading this Chicken Soup book. But so I probably realistically will not hit my goal of 100 books by the end of this year, but who knows? Because I'm already behind by 1 book. I've read 18 books already this year, which is phenomenal, I think. But yeah, so that 100 books for the year is just a loosely set goal. And probably the only book I will buy, or I need to go on my library app soon and see if it's in there, is the new Riley Sager book that's coming out in June. I have to have it. So I need to request it from the library, though. I need to look at it and see if it's available in there now. Might not be. I don't know. March? Maybe. It could be. Okay, so this one is called Diners Club. Now, this is not necessarily a story per se, but tips on how to eat out. Now, Bill and I have only eaten out twice since January 1st. Once for Charlize's birthday at Texas Roadhouse, and then once last week when we went and saw my stepdaughter's new apartment, we ate at Applebee's. We were talking about it the other day. We have enjoyed not eating out. Number one, the food just never seemed really good anymore. We enjoy anything Bill cooks here is really good, and it has saved us money. It is very expensive to eat out now. So, but here are some tips if you choose to eat out and want to somewhat eat healthy. So this is called Diners Club. Eating out has become a way of life in our fast-paced society, no longer just the occasional treat. Whether it's to avoid kitchen duty or to celebrate a special event, many meals are eaten at restaurants. For the weight conscious, ordering from the menu can be a potential minefield. But fear not, you can still eat out and enjoy your meal. Try incorporating just a few of these tips into your next dining experience, and eating out can please your palate without wrecking your waistline. Number 1 says begin with a starter, then order another. There's your meal. The appetizer's smaller portions allow you variety in your diet, as well as potentially fewer calories than if you opted for a traditional entree with side dishes. And so when we go to Ocean City for the retreats, there's Carrabba's, and we usually do that on Saturday night. And they have what's called small plates. I think it's called small plates. Well, they have this one where it's just meatballs. It's so good. And that's what I usually get. So if we do Carrabba's, I will probably do that this time. So another tip is ask for what you want. Don't be afraid to make special requests, politely, of course, so your meal is exactly what you want it to be. Remember GBS. Choose grilled, baked, broiled, and steamed foods as often as you can. Try to steer clear of fried foods or creamy or cheesy sauces. Don't go hungry. Oh yeah, definitely. Have a healthy snack beforehand so you're not ravenous by the time you're seated. 2 good options to defeat hunger pangs are apples or clear soup. That's so funny. I was just talking about apples. The doggy bag is your friend. Practice makes perfect, especially with portion control. I've actually used this method myself and stretched one meal into 3. Don't trust your willpower to let you only eat a small portion. Ask your waiter to box up half of your meal. They might even keep it in the kitchen for you until you're ready to go. Be on the lookout. Some chains will offer half sizes of their meals. I want to say, so yeah, some do. I don't remember if it was Chili's, I forget. But yeah, you can order especially if you get nachos, you can order a half plate. Or yeah, so that's a really good idea too. The next one, get your priorities straight. What would make the meal most memorable for you? Is there a house specialty you're dying to have, or maybe their signature dessert? Pick one thing to build your meal around, then go lightly with everything else. That means not having appetizers, soups, main course, bread, and dessert. Now is the time to play favorites. And we were talking yesterday about dessert, and I said, if I'm going to eat something that is off my plan, especially like a dessert, it better be the best thing I'm putting in my mouth. It better be the best piece of chocolate cake or the best cookie, not wasting it on Little Debbie, zebra cakes or something like that. And I only say that because someone in the low carb group or intermittent fasting group was like, I ate Little Debbie zebra cakes and they were not as good as I remember. Well, yeah, because when you really stop and think about it, at least for me, all of that stuff sounds better in your head than when you actually eat it, right? So, like the New Jersey retreat, that I was just thinking about that. They usually do a pizza party on Friday night. That may be a weekend where I will have one slice of pizza, but I probably will fast up until that point. Do you know what I mean? So let me tell you, that pizza is probably going to taste really good because we've only had cauliflower crust pizza. So that may be a weekend where I relax a little bit. I mean, by July, I hope to have like, this is March to April, April to May. That's like another 4 months. I could have 20 more pounds gone, which I would be at almost a 40-pound weight loss by that time, hopefully. Okay, try takeout. Practically and diet-wise, I've found you run into fewer temptations with takeout. You can add your lower fat condiments like butter, sour cream, and salad dressing to whatever you order, and you won't be seduced by something not on your plan. Beware of empty calories. Don't have wine just because everyone else is having a cocktail or it's happy hour. Would you rather have that drink or save calories for a special dessert? Likewise, if you're not wild about the bread, pass it on. I love bread. I love bread at the beginning of a meal, but I do realize that it's very filling and very high carb. And usually if I eat bread, I'm full, right? And I've talked about this too. I haven't had an alcoholic drink since the beginning of December last year, and I don't miss it. First off, any kind of drink I was having wasn't tasting good. And also, your body will burn alcohol first. I don't want to come up against that just to have a drink. So no alcohol. And I have felt better for it. Trust me. Okay. Order a special. If you're going to treat yourself, try something out of the ordinary that you can't get everywhere. Save the cheeseburger and fries for another time. Yeah. It's about having the best thing, right? Lay off the sauce. Beware of anything cooked in butter, cheese, or cream. Now, if you're doing low carb, that's okay, but you still have to be in moderation. If you simply can't have it without it, try getting it on the side. Go fish. Most of the time, seafood, depending on the preparation, is less caloric and lower in cholesterol and fat than meat and pasta. It's especially good prepared following the GBS system, which was grilled, baked, or broiled. Try a fill-up, on veggies, that is. Include vegetables as integral parts of your meals whenever possible. They help fill you up and meet your nutritional requirements. This is a great opportunity to try an exotic vegetable or one that you would never prepare at home due to time constraints, picky eaters, or some other excuse. Otherwise, choose a salad, going easy on dressing and high-calorie toppings or a vegetable-based soup. I watched, there's a low-carb person I watch. I forget what her channel name is. But she was giving like her staples, and she uses Marie Callender? I want to say Marie Callender, but it's Marie something, chunky blue cheese dressing, and it's in like the refrigerated section where you buy vegetables. I love it too. I bought that today. Now I measure out my salad dressing, especially for that, because it is very high calorie and high fat, but I only need 2 tablespoons. It's so good. I love blue cheese dressing. And the last one says, remember the F word, and they put not that one. During your meal, focus on friends and family, not feasting. It's not your last meal, so enjoy your company and the conversation. Yeah, it's about the whole experience, not just the eating. So definitely try to remember those things. So those tips, that was by Trisha Finch. All right. So one more story, because this is going to be like a 35-minute video. So this one is called Sit-Ups Till Your Eyes Pop Out. So the quote in the front of this, Dan Zadra says, worry is a misuse of the imagination. Absolutely. The day was glorious, warm and fresh, the sky a clear Wedgwood blue. I was out for my morning run through the forest preserve, feeling vibrant and strong, breathing in the smell of new leaves and sunlit air. My electric orange running shorts were cut high, showing a lot of leg. The black jog bra cut low, showing a lot of skin. When my shoelace came untied, I crouched to retie it. That's when I saw it. A fold of dimply flesh hanging over the waistband of my shorts. I gasped and shot up, arms high as if being robbed, looking at my belly. It was gone. Oh, thank heavens, I thought. It had just been a hideous hallucination. So I bent to finish tying the shoe, and there was the blasted thing again. I had been blessed with thin genes and was one of those women who other women regarded with envy as I packed away unladylike mounds of food and never gained an ounce. I naively thought it would last forever and I would die an old woman with firm breasts, a tight butt, and flat stomach. The offending flesh shocked and appalled me, and I knew I'd have to get really serious now, so along with running, I took up aerobics, step classes, spinning, and Pilates. I started strength training and a new routine of leg lifts, curls, and squats. I even bought an ab blaster. At brunch one day, I laid out my new exercise regimen to my friend Judy. Judy pronounces, "This has to be obsessive compulsive disorder. You already look too good. Here, eat some of my eggs Benedict, you sicko." She pushed the gooey plate toward me. "If you get any better, I can't be friends with you anymore." Judy's idea of exercise was getting out of bed in the morning, and her idea of a healthy diet was a green salad and Diet Coke with her fettuccine Alfredo and chocolate mousse. I said, "I have to work on my stomach. I want six-pack abs." "Ha," Judy said, "I can just see it. You, in an ad in the back of a women's magazine, 70 years old, face wrinkled like linen on a hot day, but you're standing there in a string bikini, all buffed out with those six-pack abs." "That won't happen," I said. "I'll have had a facelift before the photo shoot." I dipped a piece of pineapple in low-fat yogurt, but felt faint from the aroma of eggs Benedict wafting up my nostrils. "You're 50 years old. You can't get a six-pack when you're over 50 unless you go to a liquor store." "Sure I can," I said. "I just have to work harder." "Didn't we always say we were going to grow old gracefully?" "Yeah, when we were 15. We also said we'd never spank our kids in the grocery store, and we'd never use a cell phone, and we'd never turn into our mothers." Judy just shrugged, pulled back her plate, and took a large bite, dripping with hollandaise. "Look at Cher," I continued. "Look at Goldie Hawn. Every time I see Goldie's flat stomach in one of her little body-skimming evening gowns at the Academy Awards, I want to scream. She's older than I am. If she has a flat stomach, I can too." "Those women spend more on plastic surgery than we spend on our mortgages. Get real. No one's exempt. We're all getting old. Let's do it with some dignity." I considered Judy's words as I immersed myself in my new training program. What does aging gracefully mean, I wondered one day as I did 20 extra squats. Letting yourself go? Giving up? I ran an extra mile that day. On the day I finished 50 crunches and 35 leg lifts, I heard Judy's voice in my head. "No one's exempt. We're all getting old. Let's do it with dignity." And when I finally worked up to 62 reps on the ab blaster, shooting for 100, I collapsed, gasping, wondering where this was getting me. The belly roll was still there in spite of my punishing efforts. I could probably do sit-ups until my eyes popped out, and that flab would sit there, unperturbed, mocking me. I lay on the floor, mopping my sweat-soaked hair, and then I got up, grabbed the ab blaster furiously as if it had bitten me, and took it out to the trash. I vowed to accept being 50-something with all its consequences. Excess hair where I didn't want it, thinning hair where I did, drooping breasts, sagging butt, and the inability to focus on my eyelashes as I tried to coat them with mascara. I would be happy with who I was and how I looked now. I would. I really would. I opened a Diet Coke and drank thirstily, looking out the kitchen window, breathing in the smell of the sunlit air. Something moved by the garbage can and I frowned and squinted. Someone was picking up the ab blaster. Hesitating for only a split second, I rushed to the door and threw it open. "Hey," I shouted, running out. "Leave that alone. I need that." And that story was by Samantha Hoffman. And you know, exercise, I've come a long way in not thinking that you need to be punishing yourself with exercise because abs are made in the kitchen, right? Your body, what you put in your mouth is like 98% of it. I have been doing some standing Pilates workouts because I have a hard time bending down and getting on the floor with like my feet and knees and stuff like that. And I only do like 10 or 20 minutes. And it's not that I'm trying to lose weight with it. I'm just trying to be active, get my muscles moving, do some stretching, maybe even tone up a little bit, but have some more flexibility. So I like to do something every day, even if it's 10 minutes. And Bill and I have been taking some walks. I think we're going to take one today around our neighborhood. So I'm not extreme. I definitely, because I don't like exercise, but I'm trying to find something that isn't too awful and that does give me a benefit. So I encourage you to do the same thing if you're so inclined. So I hope you all are having a good Sunday. As always, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments section below, and I will answer them to the best of my ability. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.